Also taking time to feel these concepts and bring them into a matter of feeling, of being. And so one of the things that we like to do, and you can do this in a small group, is just to take a moment to stand up and first acknowledge within yourself, as you did in your meditation, that connection to home, to spirit, of who you really are, of why you're really here. And with that feeling of peace, realizing that peace, the things that we seek aren't out there somewhere in the cosmos to be searched for. They're right here, all the time. And all we have to do is acknowledge that, take the impediments away, and let it flow. It's our natural state to be happy. It's our natural state to be at peace. It's only when we get something that aggravates us, or something that's upsetting, event happens in life that gets us out of that. But when we move past that and come back, it's our normal state. You ever see a baby that's not happy and smiling when they're, it's the natural state, other than when they need something and they have to cry out for it. They're happy and they're smiling. It's our natural state of being. Hi, welcome, come on in. And so, I invite you right now to take one moment, let's all stand up, and just acknowledge, in whatever way you're comfortable. We like warm unity hugs, but if
Yes.
see, it really makes a difference when we get out of just the realm of the mental and get into opening up the heart and experiencing and sharing.
Yeah.
And so I've been back and forth. I've had 2 different talks that would be concise enough to be able to do in the time span that we had here. And I've been back and forth on which one to do. I had it all the way here right to the last minute, so I think I'm finally got it picked.
Well, you
I thought about letting you guys pick, but I think now, after everything has been said, one of them is coming to focus more than the other. And it's called the Art of Life. Okay, now I just want you to A-R-T, just remember that. And so, the first step that we deal with in anything is awareness. And so, from a state of awareness is where everything begins. What are you aware of? Nothing is affecting you right now consciously that you're not aware of, is it? See? So, that's the thing. Now you have, skipping to the T, you have the realm of thinking. That's where we're actively engaging with what we're aware of, and we're thinking, and we're processing with it. We're co-creating through our thoughts what is going on with our awareness. And right in the middle of it, it's where we're at, is the R, which is our reaction. See, the ego likes to tell us that we're in control. But really what we're in control of is that R. We control the reaction. We don't control what really is. All we can do is become aware of what really is. Truth is eternal. It's there. We're just becoming aware of it in stages. Our thinking. Has our thinking got all the answers in and of itself?
Not really.
No, it doesn't.
Not mine.
No. If so,
Not mine.
if so, our political leaders would have solved all the problems with all the thinking. Without the awareness, without the spiritual element of awareness coming in to guide that thinking, it's just in the realm of thinking. So, we have this beautiful circle. How many times do you see from the oldest things that we find on the planet, sacred spirals and sacred labyrinths? My wife and I went this last year to Ireland. And everywhere you go on the Neolithic sites that you're going back 5,000 to 6,000 years, you see these beautiful spirals and these labyrinth symbols. Everywhere. And you see them all over the world. You go to South America, the Mayans and the Aztecs, the same thing, these symbols, the Hopis, same kind of thing here in our country, in the Southwest. And so, everything is working in this pattern of looping back. It's not separate. That's how we can say we're all one and feel this energy. Everything energetically is looping back in this great circle. And so we have awareness looping around to our reaction, our emotions that we involve in it, to our thinking, back to awareness. It's a constant loop. And so, what happens when you take a living, flowing thing like that stream or anything that's in a circular motion of energy and you stop the process? All of a sudden put a block across that river, what would happen?
Stop running.
It would stop running, and if I dammed it up big enough, this building would be underwater after a while. It backs up, and then water becomes stagnant. This beautiful pure water all of a sudden starts having bacteria and other problems with it because we stagnated it, not letting it follow its natural course of energy. And so we have the same thing with this process. When you really study the universe, everything is in a spiral. It's a circular motion, but everything is spiraling forward. We're not just revolving around the sun, we're revolving at the sun in elliptical orbit while it's moving through the universe. So it's a progressive spiral going through the universe like this. It's not just the little circle that you see back in elementary school. We're evolving. The universe is expanding. Ever since the Big Bang, it's in a series of expansion. What should our consciousness be? Remember the as above, so below teaching from the ancients? The microcosm, the macrocosm. What about us? Are we not miniature universes with the same thing going on? Energetically, are we an open spiral that's expanding? As we circle back around each time energetically, is our awareness opening up and getting a little broader? Which then influences our thinking to get a little broader and gets us into more control of our reactions. We're not angered by everything that we see. We don't immediately go into this thing of hate because we're being programmed to go into it. We say, no, I see what that is. And I'm not going to react that way to it. I see it for what it is. It's a choice. When we're living in that, we're living in harmony with nature. When we take and get into ego and we block that process, either with our thinking or our awareness block or a negative reaction when we get into a negative energy pattern, we throw that out of balance. And all three of them will do it. You ever get in a bad space? We all get there occasionally. Just watch too much television and it can easily put you there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I had several friends that after the election, you couldn't even talk to them for 3 or 4 days. I mean, they were just completely in such a dark state that, you couldn't even reach them. They wanted to stay away and be in a little cocoon and not even talk to anybody. And then when they came out of that, they went into big anger phase. And it's like, that space blocks all the awareness and the thinking of higher things because you get so down in this negative energy that all the higher things that are still here, all the love, the peace, all these things that are discussed are still there. But we get in a state where we pull ourselves away from it, so we're not aware of it and we're not thinking of it and magnifying it with our thoughts to bring it into our reaction. So all that we're doing with our awareness, we've shortened that big, ever-expanding spiral to the short little tiny circle that's contained with that. What happens when we get locked into a pattern? That's the thing about spirituality. Jesus did not establish a church, did he?
No.
Did Buddha establish a church?
No.
No. Because they knew the thought, the truth that they were sharing was an evolving, expanding thing. Jesus was, look, it's all about love. And also, these things that I do and greater things ye shall do. Realizing that as things evolve and as the consciousness evolves, you'll be able to go on to even greater things. All the great teachers, Leonardo da Vinci, all of them expect the next level of students to take their knowledge and go beyond them. It would sadden them that things went backwards because it's against what the progression of everything is. That's what a society does, is leave a legacy of energy for the next generation to take and go forward. So whenever we get locked into a pattern, religion can be a wonderful thing, but if we take it too rigidly and we stay in a pattern of this is how we do it, we've always done it this way, we've done it this way for 1,000 years and we don't change a thing. We block that evolutionary cycle of how much more can be given. Have you ever taken your favorite book? You can take any sacred text or you can take any spiritually based text and you can read it. And you can go back 10 years later and read it. And it's like a whole new book. All these new you've grown so much that you pick up all these things you didn't pick up the first time that you read it. That is what the gift of meditation and true thought study is. It's forming that circle. We think of something, we read it, oh wow, that's profound. And we can just say that and we leave it. Or we can really think about And as we think about it and let that truth evolve and just sit and feel with it, meditate, what comes to me when I think about that? Open up the awareness, and that truth starts to just expand and expand and expand. What happens to our emotions, our reaction to how we feel about that? See how it all works in an ever-expanding cycle? Our body works in the same process. That's why this is such an easy universal thing to get, because it's how nature works and it's how our body works. When we're happy and we're relaxed, all our muscles are relaxed, they're supple, we have agility. What happens the first time we get upset? Contract immediately. Your stomach gets in a knot, everything in the body contracts. It's that syndrome, the protection mode. And it curls up like in a ball and everything gets tight and nervous. And so next thing you know, if we stay in that state too long, we're going to the massage person saying, oh man, I'm so kinked up, I need some help here. Or we're going to the chiropractor, oh my back's racked up. We stay in that tight mode. And so it's the same thing with our evolution of energy. How many times have we been told that we're co-creators of the universe? That what you think, you manifest. All these things that we all know. I'm not going to sit there and quote them all, because you guys know it all. You guys have been around the block. But how this works energetically is the traps of illusion and the things that our ego wants to get us into are contrary to that. The ego wants to solve everything logically and in a certain mode that it feels comfortable with. And anything outside of that, it's threatened by. When you start talking about letting yourself go into the oneness, that's threatening. I like me just the way I am over here. I don't want to let go and be connected to all these things. I could possibly get hurt from that. It wants to bring in a tight circle, where spirit is the exact opposite. Like you were just doing. You said everything we were going to say in the meditation. Spirit already took care of it. Go on. Don't say, no, I have to do the meditation. Let's rehearse that. That's the traps the ego wants to get you in. When something's already there, acknowledge it and take the beauty of it and go on. Don't get trapped and think, no, got to process it this way because this is how we do it. And so this beautiful spiral of energy that we're dealing with is a constant cycle. The same way that you're not going to stop breathing in and out, you're not going to stop that I'm expanding muscles to go reach out my arm like this, and I'm contracting other muscles, and then when I bring my arm up, I'm contracting other muscles and expanding other ones to make that motion. Everything in the universe is going to work under this principle, whether we want to consciously get in line with it or not. The beauty is, which is what the Tao teaches, Jesus was all over it and give you a million different quotes from Scripture about it. But it's all getting attuned to the natural process, the natural order of how things already work. So energetically, in our energy, of what we're going to expand with, right? Our first thing is, what is the world that you're in right now? Do you really see the world? Or do you see your awareness of the world? The world through Pope's eyes. The world through each one of you. Are you seeing the world through your focus, through your belief system, for what you're aware of, all your knowledge that you have? Isn't that the truth? Mm-hmm. There's a great quote from the Talmud of the ancient Jewish truth teachings that says, you do not see things as they are, we see them as we are. Very, very true. So, when we first make that first step of saying, I'm only seeing things through my awareness, and we take the ego out of it and say, and that awareness is where I am now. I'm not up to Buddha's level yet, I'm not up to Jesus' level, but I'm trying. And I'm expanding, but my goal is, remember the old song, I'm just an old lump of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday? It's that expansion that, with your guidance, with your help, I'm opening up more every day, and I'm going to get there. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm working my way in that spiral up. I want to expand. I want to have more love, more peace. I want to be in that energy. I want to give it so that I can receive it. I want to be part of that pattern of exchange and not the opposite. And so we stand as a society right now on the brink of a paradigm exchange, which is what you guys were talking about yesterday at the women's conference. We have a choice to go into fear right now And there's lots of things to get afraid of and to go into that thing and react out of fear. Or we can move forward through a reaction of progressive thinking and love. I'm not going to get into politics. I don't do any of that. Spiritually, Jesus didn't get trapped by that. I don't want to get into it either. But what it is energetically how we choose to make a choice of what we're going to feed our energy to. And what I would like to remind you is, it's been proven in physics and science now, there is a field of energy. We like to call it the field of consciousness. They have other words for it, but it's the same thing. And so what we feed ourselves and being the change we wish to see affects the field of energy.